All right, here is the watch list for Tuesday. Now remember, I don't look at these charts. I don't look at APKT here and think, hey, this is a beautiful chart for a long. But this thing's just been decimated, and then a gap down on massive volume, couple red days. If this thing can trade in a narrow range and then break its early high, we might have a nice intraday trade. So when I build a list, I'm just looking for intraday trades. It's important to remember that. I know I get emails. How in the heck? Whoops! I better not cuss in the video. How in the heck can you, be looking at APKT long, or there's some others in this list as well. So keep that in mind. I'm looking for stocks that could give some passion if I do get the move I'm looking for on an intraday basis. All right, so APKT fits the bill for me. Checkpoint software, CHKP. We picked the bottom clean here, 7 cents from the bottom today on an intraday basis for a trade in chat. I made a bottom feeding video, little tutorial on how we bottom feed. Wasn't a great trade, but it was a nice little end of day money in our pocket trade. Anyway, now you've got a couple big red candles. If you have to go all the way back here to, December of 2011, 2010 and January of 2011 here. But it did have a little bit of a relationship, is how I like to word it, with the 45 area, and it's gotten there in a hurry over 2 sessions. So again, another example of pretty good bounce candidate for an intraday trade on Tuesday. Comcast, CMCSA, kind of hitting a trend line here, and pulled back for 3 or 4 days, kind of retesting of this area right here was the breakout area, came back down, formed another basis point for the trend line, then broke out again, and now it's come down to retest that latest breakout. So this is also a good candidate for a potential long with some market strength on Tuesday. Okay, there's no chart set up here at all on BTU. I just wanted to have a coal name on watch. As I, because PCX, most of you probably know PCX filed for bankruptcy. I think it's trading at 30-something cents in after hours tonight. So I wanted to have a coal name on because I have a feeling a lot of people are going to think coals are an obvious short, and if that becomes pervasive and BTU gaps way down, I'm actually going to be probably thinking long. Doesn't mean I just blindly jump in long, but depending on what the coals do tomorrow, if they all gap way down, whatever the major crowd thinks, I'm usually contrarian to that. So if it seems like an obvious short in the morning on coals, I'll probably be leaning the other way, but only with a low risk setup. Again, no chart setup here on Mako, M-A-K-O, but this thing was trading down below 15. I don't have it on this chart. I took a snapshot of a chart, but 15 was an area that was relevant a long time ago on this chart. So this one is also worth watching. That's a big gap down here, right? Then a battle, and now another big gap down to below 15. Got to have this one on watch. It may not give a setup that I deem safe, but it doesn't cost me anything to have a chart on watch. And AK Steel, kind of a little pennant here after a nice, this is kind of bottomed here, based for a while, then a nice push up above these recent highs after bottoming, and now a little pennant. So this one could break to the upside. That's the short list. I will find, every morning when the market opens, I spend the first 5 or 10 minutes. Since I don't really want to trade the first 5 or 10 minutes anyway, it's way too choppy and crazy at that point. What I do for the chat room members is I build a list of unusual volume stocks, stocks that are showing unusual volume, relative volume for those particular securities in the first 10 minutes or so, and then I'll populate charts on one of my monitors with the unusual volume stocks, and usually we get some nice setups off of those later in the day. So a worthwhile way to spend my first 10 minutes adding to the list of stocks that I just showed you. All right, have a great night, and we will talk to you tomorrow night.